If I could look at your life story on video, what was the lowest point in your life? And not only how did you overcome it, but what was the catalyst for your current thinking right now
I would say the lowest point in my life was 16 years ago,
when you
which,
started your podcast?
yeah, I was engaged, supposed to get married, didn't happen. We both had sold our homes. Then I fell and broke my ankle that same week. So here I had moved into my new condo, heartbroken, but also with a broken ankle. My doctor said, Constance, you can't put no weight on your foot for 3 months. And I'm just like, what am I going to do? And I remember sitting in the parking lot of CVS. I called my pastor. I said, I can't do this no more. He said, Constance, I said, I just, he said, hold up. So he said, y'all better go in and help Constance. I said, how am I going to? So he said, no. He said, this is just a moment. So I'm in my condo. It's 3 levels. And I had a wheelchair on the second level and a wheelchair on the third level because I was determined. The doctor said, don't put no weight. He said, if you do what
Yeah.
I tell you to do. So the so I'm laying up in my bed. We're talking about the toughest time of my life. And I'm just on the third level. And I'm like, God, what is going on? I had to make a decision. I said, number one, I said, I would not close my heart to love. I had to make that decision. So, ladies, I'm talking to you. Second thing I said was, who I am is enough. My daddy taught me that.
Mm-hmm.
That if a job doesn't choose you, or if a partner doesn't choose, I had to resolve that. The third thing was I looked at my foot, and I had a young lady that helping me. I said, the doctor said you won't ever run. You might not walk again. I told
Hmm.
her, I said, I want you to bring me my heel to my left foot. And I would sleep with the cast on my right foot. But visually, I had the heel on my other foot just to see. And then lastly, that's when I just heard a still small voice say to me, Law of Attraction Radio Network. I'm like, what? What?
Hmm.
And that's when the secret came out. Now I'm just talking to people. See, God loves to be with you in the low places of your life. I didn't hear of audible voice, but it was just a hunch of intuition. So I called the founder, and she said, wow, we never had anybody with your platform experience in speaking. And so it was at that low time. So every Sunday, they would have to drag me down the steps on a pillow. I had my foot out. Level two. I don't know why I had my office down and now that I think about it. Drag me down the next on a pillow, and I would sit there for 1 hour. I said, God, for 1 hour, I'm gonna give it all I got.
Mhm.
And that's exactly what I did. Now, during the week, I was still crying and whatever, but looking back on it, Dr. Kimbro, I realize and I understand now that everything that we tracked into our life is an energetic invitation.
Mhm.
So back then, that's just what I attracted, but it was my show that brought healing to me because I had a purpose. It was
Mhm.
my show that kept me alive really and kept me wanting to live on, because if I would whoever I interviewed, I'm gonna read your whole book before the week. So I would that gave me a purpose because I couldn't do anything else. So I would say that it was God speaking to me at a low time for something that I had no idea would be what it is now. I didn't know about demographics. They didn't even have podcasts. What's a podcast?
Yeah.
I just said, I'm going to give it everything I got for this 1 hour. And I think that in tune with that still small voice. I know you always say that God is that we get $1 million ideas all of the time. But I was
Yeah.
in tune because I couldn't do nothing else. And I just want to say to listeners, whatever mess you may think you're in, you know, Dr. Kimber always said, God's always giving us $1 million ideas all of the time.
Mhm.
So that small voice was the catalyst to get me moving to where I am today.